Good morning, everyone. Today, I am here to take the topic about counseling techniques, listening, responding, and goal setting. Throughout the slides, we are discussing about the counseling techniques. What are the counseling techniques and how they are used? And through here, we are discussing about mainly three heading: listening, responding, goal settings. And we are moving to the slide. First, what even by counseling and a brief introduction about the counseling. Counseling is a face to face conversation by which you help the person to make decisions or solve a problems and act on them, which means that the counsel is given to a person who having interpersonal issues or intrapersonal issues, and the person who reaches an agency for the solutions is called counseling, and the counseling with the counselor through the different sessions of counselings. The person itself make the ability to solve the problem through the guidance of the counselor. And counseling is a process aimed at problem solving. It is, we say that the counseling, it is the main aim of the counseling is the process or the programs or the section is to problem solving. And we can say the counseling is done with the individuals, groups, and the couples. These are the three different sectors where the counseling is placed, that is individual, group, or with the couples. The person assigned with this task for providing the guidance is known as the counselor. And we say that the person who is giving the guidance, or the client is the interaction is taken places with the counselor. The professional is said to be counselor. And moving to the next slide, it is about the counseling techniques. We are moving to the core topic, that is counseling techniques. Counseling techniques are of three types: directive, participative, and non-directive counselings. That is, three types of counselings are there. Techniques are there, that is directive techniques, participative, and non-directive. Directive means face-to-face interactions or conversation take place at a agency or at a center. And participative means both the client and the counselor is participating in the counseling, or the families are participating, or a group are participating. Then non-directive means through the other media like telephone, the counseling is take place, is known as non-directive counseling. And the different type of counseling consists of different bases, because the counseling may be for different problems. So on the basis of the different problem, the different counseling techniques are uses. Then we are here mentioned about some counseling techniques, that is listening, responding, goal setting, exploration and action, behavior techniques, psychodrama, role play. All these techniques are uses on different problems. For solving different problems, these techniques are used. Each technique is having important in each basis. Through the slide, we discuss about listening, responding, and goal setting. Here we are mainly focusing on only three techniques, that is listening, responding, and goal setting, because and also these techniques are very vital in the counseling. So first one, listening. Active listening and responding appropriately are two of the key skills a counselor or therapist must apply during one-to-one counseling session with the client. We all know that in the world, a person is needed to be listened to. So, a listening is the most vital thing in the counseling, so that the counseling will be more effective and the client will be more successful in the problem solving. So the counselor should, or the therapist should having an active skill in listening when they are involving in a counseling section. There are two types of listening, that is active and passive listening. That the term is active and passive is explains, that is actively involving in the listening and passively involving in the listening. Listening makes the person who is talking freely feel worthy and appreciated and respected. When we listen to someone, it will feel them worthy, and they are appreciated, and they are getting respected. They are getting a warm feeling when someone is listening towards the views or their thoughts. When counselor pay particular attention to what the client is saying, they are encouraging the client to continue talking as well as ensuring communication remain open and positive. When a client is talking and the counselor is paying attention, active listening is take places, then the client is getting more energy, they are getting more encouraged, and they are opening up more about their problems, and their a positive impact is taking places when there is an active listening. Counselor must demonstrate active listening by employing the various techniques throughout the counseling relationship with the client. When a client is in front of a counselor, the counselor should observe the non-verbal expressions and the attitudes or the facial expression that take place when a client is expressing or talking about issues or that take places in the lives. So the counselor must demonstrate an active listening in the counseling section. And one of the most important part in the counseling is reflective listening. The reflective listening, it is says to be the process of restating what just been said, so that the client understand what that counselor had listened what they heard discloses. It is a it is a method or technique used by the counselor. They will be reset means they will be reset or replay what they heard the client what the client had said. So when they reply to the client itself what they had said, they having a positive impact at that the counselor had listened them very carefully and understand the problem, and it will be creating an open talking spaces or creating a positive impact towards the client. It increases the opportunity to talk more. Also, it's technique for confirmation by that. It is a technique used by the counselor for the confirmations of the topic. If the counselor restate a topic, and if it have any clarification, the client will say no, it have some clarify, and it is not in such a way. So it is a technique used by the counselor for the clarification also. Then next one, block to listening. Block to listening is another important, that is the blocks that take places in the middle of the consultation or the listening towards the, such as action that stop the active listening, formal judgmental natural dialogues run through the minds, which means that when a counseling takes place through the minds of the counselor, several uh, thoughts will be passing, like formal judgment by hearing all the talks of the client, and also the dialogue that run through the mind when hearing some topics, that which will block the listening of the counselor. And it is said that there are four techniques for maintaining the active listen, that is paraphrase. Paraphrase means that uh, the the whole subject what the client has said is get in a short and brief way by the counselor itself, and so a topic will be fully clarified, and it also given a positive impact to the client itself. Next one, summarize. Summarizes is says to be uh, total summary of a problem. It is said to be total summary of a problem. When the counselor summarizes a event in the client talking, then the client also get an idea what they have said, and if there any correction is needed, they can be mentioned to the counselor. Then clarify means that the counselor is asking several questions, which is like restating several events to get the clarification. Through practicing these techniques, the active listening ability or the skill can be getting improved. And reflective means that we are restating the the event. That is an most important of a listening techniques. Next, we are moving towards the another technique, that is responding. It is also one of the most important part of counseling. It requires all the attention of counselor, focused on clients' feelings and verbal expression at all time. These listening and responding are interconnected. Without a proper active listening, the responding will not be occurred. So, the client expressions and the feelings should be properly observed by the counselor, so that we can give the response to the client. Without any response, the client will not be having any impact to open up to the counselor. The goal of the counselor in responding to the counselor is to help them to gain an insight. When the counselor is giving a session to a client, the goal of the counselor is to give them an insight about the problems and making themselves to find a solutions. Response in the way that the counselor has accurately heard what they have been saying. It's also a method to giving a positive response. That is, when we are responsive, the client is having an idea that the counselor is very actively listening towards them. And also, it is said that the response should be in the positive manner. That we should not tolerate any negative manner or negative side during the counseling section, so that when the positive response is boosted up, the client also get a positive energy and get a chance to be more participative in the counseling sessions. Without use of clear responding and reflecting skill, the level of counseling offered to a client will not be sufficient to motivate and encourage the client. It is said that without a proper response and the reflecting skill, the counsel session will not be successful and the client will not be any effective. There will be no effect towards the client's life without a proper response is given to the client. So that the response is a vital technique in a counseling. Then positive response. There are several type of positive response that we can given during the counselor session, such as being encouraging, motivating, reassuring, coaxing, being challenging, and praising. This text is symbolic that several actions we can take in, during the counseling. We are praising them, we are encouraging them, we are boosting them, several stories and several news that we have in our lives, and giving a positive or giving a energy towards the client. That is a positive response. Then asking questions, making statement, suggestion, offering solutions and information towards the client. Several questions are asked about their achievements, and several suggestion is given to them, and several solutions are given to them. Through this, they are getting a positive responses, and it also all these positive responses make the client to feel that they're having a person to listen them. They listen them, and having a various spaces for an open talk, so that when there is an open talk take places, the problem will be more effectively viewable to the counselor, and a goal can be settled to the solving those problems. And several positive responses like nod of head, and on encouraging by client saying, and when it is also can be practiced in a daily conversation, like, and when a person is talking towards them and we are listening, when we by nodding and by humming, and also asking them, and then what happened, it is encouraging them to take more and after more and after, and all the stories or all the event towards the counsel itself. This is a type of a positive response. Then afterwards we are moving to the next technique, that is goal settings. It is one of the important one in counseling. Without knowing where we are, it is difficult to know where we reach. It says that without a goal, we cannot identify where we are and where we want to reach. Every counseling should need a goal because we need to set a plan or set a different phases to attain such goals, so that there should be a goal. And goal setting is an act of a roadmap for you to follow when it comes to overcoming challenges and achieving things to live. Goal setting is needed in the counseling session because there will be several challenges during the sections, and so that through a perfect goal we can it is creating a map to reach the destinations. And when we identify the problems, we are creating a goal to say goal is set to solve the problem, so that when any obstacle came to the in front of the sections or in front of the sittings, then we get an idea where we are and what is the next move we want to take to attain the goal, etc. And the goal can be classified as a short term and long term. Short term goals can be for about 1 to 3 months, and the long term goal is said to be about 1 to 2 years, etc. Then the goal is said to be SMART goals. The SMART symbol is that S for simple, specific, M for measurable, A for achievable, R for realistic, T for time frame. The specific means there should be a specific reason or this is a specific target to be achieved. Without a target, the settings or the our participation could not be reached in a successive manner. So the goal should be a specific one. It have to be a mean. It have to be a target to be reached. Then measurable. M for measurable. Measurable means that goal should be when we place a goal, it should be measurable to identify what we have achieved and where we have reached, so that it should be measurable. For example, we have says that about the working hard about the gym training, and without checking the weight losses or without checking the amount of calories we burn, we cannot know how much we have done the workouts and how much more we need to get improved, so that it should be a measurable one. Then achievable. When we set a goal, it should be strictly noted that it should be an achievable one. We for just a talks did not keep a but that the which one is a more difficult and more time taken one. The goal should be a simple and it should be easily achievable. Next, it is realistic one, which means that for example the goal need to be in a reality. And if you have established a goal to lose a 5 kg in 1 week or time, or in a particular day, it cannot be happen in a particular day or particular time. Sometimes it may take a long time, so should be a realistic one. It can be achievable, and the time frame, the goal should be fixed to achieve in a time frame, so that all the matters should be placed in order to achieve by the time. So we having a certain time period is allotted, so that all the plan can be placed and it can be reached in a successful way. And it is said that before setting the goal, check whether it is SMART goal, because without having a target, measure, time to achieve it, the goal cannot be successful. When the counselor should focus that the goal which is set for the counselee or the client should be in a smarter one. It should be achieved by the client. It should be measurable by the client. It should be a realistic one, and it can be easily achievable by them, so that it is a smarter one and it will be successful for the client. And to get the goal successful, there are several methods to be followed, or several criteria is set for achieving a successful goal. That is, express the goal in a positive and rather negative forms. It is said that the counselor should express the goal. When a goal is set with the discussion of client, the goal should be expressed to the client in a positive manner, so that they will have a mentality to attain the goal and to be participative in goal attaining. Then identify certain goal achievement strategies. It is says that to foment several strategies to achieve these goals. Certain criteria or certain method to achieve these goals. So identify certain strategies for each goal to be identified to achieve. Then record goal achievement strategies and target rate. All these goals, target achievement strategies and target dates has to be recorded, so that we can measure it, how the goal is achieved and how much time is taken, and what is the effect of the goal, and also the effect of the strategies that is taken to achieve the goal. All can be measured. That is the record goal achievement strategies and target. That is, next one is set up a performance feedback or goal evaluation system. After attaining all certain goals of or certain target, the feedback had to be set up, so that any further changes had to be formed, or any further improvement has to be made and can be bring to the goal setting plans, and it can bring more improvements into the client, and it and also to the sections. So these are the techniques that can be used in the goal settings. And last, in the conclusion, through the slides we discuss about the three techniques, that is listening, responding and goal settings. We all know that the main target of the counseling is to the problem solving. Through listening and the responding and also the goal settings, we can only solve the problem of a client or a individuals. So listening and responding is a vital role in the counselings, and proper listening, that is active listening of the verbal and non-verbal expressions of the client, and the response of the, when through the responses only the client get understand about what the heart said, and what are the problem they are facing. And it is a vital one. We cannot avoid the response. It should be clearly taken basis by the counselors. And I think everyone have understood the topic. Thank you.